So don't have to read all this, but our positioning in the market is that we provide strategic guidance and market foresight around transformative technologies. Technologies that reshape workforces, identify holes in the market, create new business models, and drive new revenue streams. So when I say transformative technologies, I'm talking about technologies that are going to do those things 5 or 10 years in the future. Things like artificial intelligence, 5G, augmented reality. So that's how we're a little bit different from our competition, is we tend to be a little bit further looking, and we're focused on a variety of technologies that we believe are going to have a big impact in the future. We have offices in Austin, Texas, Oyster Bay, New York, 2 in the UK, London and Wellingborough, and 1 in Singapore. We're 40-plus analysts. I think it's around 47 or 48 now, and we're divided among all these research services. So to give you an idea of how we're organized, our research services are kind of 3 streams: technologies, end markets, and platforms. So when I say technologies, mention 5G, AI, AR, blockchain, robotics. And then the end markets, I'm on the end markets team, so my specific focus is smart manufacturing. So some of the others are smart cities, smart homes, smart retail, automotive, and supply chains, which we call intelligent transportation and e-freight. And then the platforms kind of join all that together. It's actually a really great structure because, as I said, 48 analysts, 20 odd research services. So basically 2 analysts per service, which means you don't just get sucked into your own service and never talk to anybody outside of that, which I've had experience with before. I do talk to analysts on every single one of these teams regularly, and they are spread out among 3 continents. So that really does provide us with a good geographic perspective. And when I'm writing a report about platforms, I'll talk to our platforms team, and I'll talk to the technologies that that platform enables, like augmented reality or AI. So I'll talk to the analysts on these different research services, and we do collaborate quite well, I think. So I was asked to compare us to our competitors. I'm quite happy to do that. In my view and my experience, our competitors in general tend to be a lot more IT focused, whereas we look at operational technology and that integration in a little bit more balanced way. Look at some of the hardware, some of the OT protocols that we see in operating environments on factory floors. And when I say they're slow to react, reactionary, and slow to publish, I mean that they will take months and months to write a report, put it through peer review, and they will not adapt the content as they go along. So the day they publish, if it took them 6 months to write it, the day they publish, that content is 6 months out of date. That does happen with some of our competitors' reports. We, on the other hand, have a much more streamlined and efficient research process. From the day I kick off a project, I will conduct about 10 research interviews over the course of a month, put it into peer review, and 2 weeks after going to peer review, it'll be published. So about 6 weeks from kickoff to publication, and I'm learning the whole time and shaping my view the whole time. So we try and keep it up to date the day it's published. Like I said, we cover transformative technologies, not legacy markets, semiconductors, IT-focused things, much more on that AI, AR, IIoT, what the technologies that are coming to market in the next few years and being adopted over the next few years. And we try and identify those and establish our position very early on, be more forward-looking. And like I said, I conduct 10 research interviews every month. That does not include inquiries and other interactions with clients and non-clients. Does not include custom work. So I do believe we keep a closer tab on technology leaders and up-and-coming companies, just because we're doing a lot of interactions every month, every day, more than I did at my previous firms. To explain a little bit more about my coverage area, so in smart manufacturing, I've written reports about additive manufacturing or 3D printing, digital twins, IIoT platforms, IT-OT integration, sensor-based applications. And I have reports coming up where I'm going to rank the different IIoT platforms, so talking about like PTC ThingWorx and Siemens MindSphere, ABB Ability, I do market data sets on connectivity and value-added revenue streams in the manufacturing area using these technologies, as well as smart glasses on the factory floor. I report coming up on balancing edge versus cloud computing and hybrid cloud models and how all that should fit together when you're looking at a factory floor. So that's generally what I write about. And I'm going to explain a little bit about how our work is divided. So essentially we have two types of products: syndicated products and custom products. So the syndicated products are what you see here. These are only accessible to our clients, but they are accessible to all of our clients. So the trademark product is an analyst report, or we call it an AN, but you don't need to know that. And these dive into the details of how technology is going to be applied, the drivers, the barriers, the forecasts of adoption, the key players and how they differentiate. And that is 20 to 40 or longer page report detailing this and providing frameworks on how to look at technologies and end markets. Presentations are basically the same thing except in a PowerPoint format. Market data, I just talked about how I've managed a market data set that looks at the connections and value-added services of technologies and smart manufacturing. Every single one of our analysts is required to publish a 1 to 2 page document every single month that we call an executive foresight. It usually has something to do with something that's happening in the news or an update on a big project we're working on and the impact and the recommendations that we have based on this news event or our big project. And of course, we mentioned analyst support and analyst inquiry. In terms of press coverage, in 2017, we had 25,000 media citations. I have seen the stats as of the end of May. As of the end of May, we had 14,000 already this year, which puts us third among our competition. I think Gartner and IDC are first and second, but we're ahead of all the others, Forrester, 451, any of the others you may have heard of. So we do quite a lot of media interactions. And then on the custom consulting side, I'm not going to dive into all this. We write a lot of white papers. We put together custom strategy reports for our clients. We do custom forecasts for our clients if they're interested in a technology that we don't necessarily cover or a geographic area that we don't necessarily cover. We will sign on and do some consulting for clients or non-clients. I would say our consulting and custom side is about 50-50 for clients and non-clients. And then one thing that differentiates ABI, and this has nothing to do with the traditional analyst side because I don't do this, but we do have that division in Austin, Texas that specializes in teardowns. So they actually tear apart devices and figure out all the different suppliers for every single little part and chip in there. They produce diagrams, they publish their x-rays and really, really high definition photos that you can zoom in and see the exact parts and the specifications, the size, everything. So that's something that our clients really, really like. And of course we do custom and consulting for that as well if it's not something that we were planning on producing. Then within ABI, here's some points of contact. For media relations, you should go through Deb Petrera. For analyst relations, it's Christine Gallen. She also organizes vendor briefings. If you know I have something on my roadmap coming up, whether you've heard it from me or through the grapevine, you can contact me directly. And when I say 1 week to 1 month, what I mean is I don't really want to be contacted about something I'm not going to be working on within the next month because it'll be outdated by the time I get to it. But also, if you don't contact me at least a week before I publish, there's no way I can work it into my report. So that's what I mean there. And same thing, if I reach out to CCgroup to contact one of your clients, I really need the briefing scheduled definitely within a month, ideally within a week, just so I can stay ahead on everything, because we do have those really streamlined work processes at ABI.